Hello, in this video I'm going to remind you how to add, subtract, divide and multiply fractions. First off, we're starting with an addition. These fractions are what we call mixed numbers. You've got a whole number and then a fraction as well. And the first thing we need to do with anything when we're calculating with fractions is to turn them into top-heavy fractions. And to remind you how to do that, we do 5 times 1 plus 3, because you're trying to find out how many fifths you've got altogether. You've got 5 in each whole, so 5 in that 1, so 5 lots of 1 times by add 3 is 8. So you get 8 fifths plus, do the same here, 7 times 2 is 14, plus 4 is 18. Now the next thing we need to do is to find a common denominator. You can't add them at the moment because there's a lot of fifths there and a lot of sevenths. You've got to have the same number on the bottom of the fraction. And the easiest way is to find an equivalent fraction which has the same denominator. So in order to find a good common denominator, you can just multiply the 5 and the 7 to get 35. In some cases there might be an obvious smaller number, but in this case there isn't, so you can just multiply them together and that finds the number that they definitely both go into. So now we have to work out what we do with the 8. What did we do with the 5 to make 35? We multiplied it by 7. So what do we do to the 8? Exactly the same. We multiply it by 7 to get 56. With the 7, what did we do to get 35? We multiplied by 5. So we need to do exactly the same to the top. 18 times 5 is 90. Now I've got the same type of fraction. They're both 35ths. So I can just add the top. So 90 plus 56 is 146. Now you'll see this is a top-heavy fraction. The question might well ask you to put it as a mixed number. In an exam, if you're not sure, I would do both. So 35s into 146. Well, I know they go 4 times into 140. So that's 4 whole numbers. And I will have 6 35ths left over. Just check, can I cancel down? Does anything go into 6 and into 35? The answer is no, so I don't need to cancel it. If you get to this stage and you're not sure how to get that whole number, you can just do 146 divided by 35 on your calculator and it'll give you 4 point something. So you know that there are 4 lots of 35 in 146. You could then check by doing 4 times 35 to work out how many that is, and it's 140, and then you can work out what's left over, i.e. the number that would go there. So don't get freaked out about going there to there. You can use your calculator to help you. Right, subtraction, exactly the same. We need to get top-heavy fractions first. This isn't a mixed number, so that can just stay as it is. But this one, we've got to find out how many sixths we've got. So 6 times 1 is 6 plus 5 is 11 sixths there. Take away 7 twelfths. We've got to get a common denominator. In this case, we don't need to multiply 6 by 12 to find it. It's clear that both of these will go into 12. So that's quite nice. So to think, what did I do to the 6 to get to 12? I multiplied it by 2, so I need to multiply that 11 by 2. I'm not changing this at all, so that's still a 7. And then I can just do 22 take away 7, because now I've got my common denominator. So that's 15 twelfths. That's top heavy. The number on the top is bigger than the number on the bottom, so I need to turn it into a mixed number. 12 goes into 15 once, so that uses up 12 twelfths, and then I've got 3 left over, and then I can cancel it down. I can divide top and bottom by 3 to get 1 and a quarter. Okay, on to multiplication. Now, multiplication is much easier because you do not need to find a common denominator. But we've got a mixed number here, so we need to convert that second one into a top-heavy fraction. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4 thirds. So you're thinking, how many thirds have I got altogether? I've got 3 in that 1, plus 1 there, I've got 4 altogether. Now, multiplication is much easier. I just multiply the tops to get the answer, the top of the answer. So 5 times 4 is 20. and multiply the numbers in the bottom, the denominators, to get the bottom of the fraction in the answer. 7 times 3 is 21. It's not top heavy, I don't need to convert it to a mixed number, and there is nothing that will go into 20 and 21, so that's my answer. Okay, right, last one, division. So here I've got two mixed numbers, so I need to convert them both into top heavy. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 gives me 9/4, or 9/4. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11/8. Now, do you remember our keep, change, flip? Division of the fractions, you need keep, change, flip. Keep the first one, change the sign to a multiplication sign, and flip the second. So you're turning it upside down. In technical terms, we are multiplying by the reciprocal. Now we're back to where we were with multiplication. You just need to multiply the tops. So 9 times 8 is 72. 4 times 11 is 44. That is a top-heavy fraction, so I know that 44 goes into 72 once. Again, if you're not sure, use your calculator to check. And I have got 28/44 left over. Obviously, we can cancel this. They're both even, so obviously 2 will go in, but I can actually see that 4 will also go into there. So to complete it into its lowest terms, you need to find the highest number that goes into both. And I could divide both by 4. I get 1 and 7/11. Okay.